Welcome to CHAINCHAT, a podcast driven by our desire to unlock the dialogue surrounding the ever-growing and incredibly exciting digital world.
We are your hosts, Mihi and Nicola, two women from the legal world who are passionate about making this space relevant, relatable and accessible to everyone. Let's chat.
Hi guys, welcome to today's episode of CHAINCHAT. We are going to talk about what the heck is an NFT. And just to reiterate, before we carry on with this episode, none of this is financial or legal advice, and everything that we talk about is our own opinions and perspectives.
So if you've missed the NFT craze and you're on social media, then were you hiding under a rock? Because they are everywhere. And we know when you first see them, it's a little bit like, huh? I was definitely like that when I first saw, I think it was the Bored Ape NFT collection. I mean, I saw the price and I was like, WTF, who would pay something like $2 million for a picture of a monkey? And I guess, reflecting back on our first episode about why crypto and NFTs and Web3 are so scary, I reckon it's because we're talking about a digital picture being worth $2 million and a single Bitcoin being worth $60,000. I think some of the scariness or apprehension about entering into the space is also linked to like the share price and the amount of money that's in this space. For me, it definitely was. And I think sometimes it's also that fear that kind of pulls you in. Like that's how I started learning about NFTs and wanting to understand how a digital picture could be worth so much money.
Like, it makes you really curious, right? I was really curious. And saying that, I really struggled with the concept of why I couldn't just screenshot it. Like, I really couldn't get my head around that for ages. And then I think I watched some kind of video and it was like explaining that you've got the Mona Lisa that is in the art museum over in Paris, and there's only one of it. But if you go onto Google Images and you type in Mona Lisa, you'll see heaps and heaps and heaps of images of it. And just because I screenshot that does not mean I own that piece of art, which, like, once I heard that, I was like, okay, like I kind of get it. But then also, NFT projects are like startup companies, and the NFTs are like stocks. So that's why there are so many of us, not me, because I'm still too scared, but I encourage you to do it, and I will do it as well because my partner is here buying NFTs constantly. I'm just one of these people that feels like I really want to do my research and know that whatever I'm investing in is the right project for me. But I think part of my own personal apprehension is that an NFT project is like a startup. And if you're putting money into a startup company, you want to be sure that that money is going to go somewhere and you'll be able to make a profit from that rather than the company not doing very well at all.
So some kind of return.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I definitely know for me that the NFT project that really helped me learn and understand the kind of process for acquiring an NFT was Trillionaire Thugs. And I know, Mihi, your household was buzzing for a couple of weeks there when that was on the go.
It was.
But like, even though I know at this stage I'm not really interested in purchasing an NFT or entering into that investment realm, I am still really interested in learning about it, especially because I can see the potential of a future NFT project for us, like tying our legal knowledge and background to the NFT game. So I really wanted to learn how it works rather than what it was, and I was lucky I could do it vicariously through you and your partner. And I'm grateful that, we did connect on this level, because if we hadn't of, I don't think I would have had access to all the learning elements of that process. Including the hacking elements, the security risks that come with purchasing NFTs. So, yeah.
And it's funny, I think, with that situation, and this is where the link to crypto comes back, because we are very aware that you have to be crazy about security with your crypto and your wallets and never giving out your 12-word key. We know that for crypto, like inherently. And I guess I don't know why we didn't think more broadly, because much like crypto, NFTs run on the blockchain. And just because an NFT is a thing rather than like a digital currency doesn't mean that you can doesn't mean that you don't apply the same security principles. So like I knew that you had to be that secure with crypto. Didn't think you had to do the same thing with NFTs, but why wouldn't you? Because you hold it in a wallet in the same way that you hold your crypto in a wallet. And I don't know. I think this is why probably we are risk averse anyway, because that is the realm that we work within. But the fact that someone can just jump into your wallet and take your things, your digital art, yeah, I'm not there yet. I will be there when I find the right thing for me. And trust me, when I find that NFT, I am going to be making that as secure as possible. We're going to be on cold wallet level. I don't know. Can you put an NFT in a cold wallet? I think so. And I will be doing that because, yeah, trust no one. But with NFTs, let's break it down. NFT stands for non-fungible token. And these are unique digital items with a single owner, and the ownership is stored on the blockchain. Just like I was talking about, crypto is also on the blockchain. NFT ownership is on the blockchain. So it's like a digital ledger. The NFT can represent items of value, so art, which is sort of what we've seen the most of lately, but it's going to branch out and become much wider than that. So you've got art, you've got music, videos, collectibles, even tweets. I saw that like the world's first tweet was sold as an NFT, and I think the same thing might have happened with the world's first YouTube video as well. And NFTs can represent even like a membership card. So like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, I'm sure most of you would have heard about that, but if you haven't, look it up. Lots of celebrities buy into it. It's crazy expensive, crazy expensive. Having one of those NFTs gives you access to their exclusive yacht club. NFTs are bought and sold online using crypto, and generally they sit on the Ethereum blockchain. So most of the time you will see NFTs being purchased in ETH. Although I have an ETH and purchased on OpenSea, which is like the NFT marketplace, which is just like a website that you can access on your computer or on your phone. I've also heard that NFTs that run on the Solana network are going to be moving to OpenSea as well. So Solana is just another version of Ethereum, and they had their own separate marketplace at a time, but now it's all going to jump onto OpenSea, which is kind of easier for everyone. Now you've got one place to go if you want to look at buying an NFT. And I know that I am at the moment using a lot of words that many of you probably won't be that familiar with, and that is okay. If you aren't sure what the blockchain is, if you don't know what the Ethereum network is, then check out our OrixGold YouTube videos. That's our YouTube page that we add to our description every time we do an episode. That will give you a quick breakdown, and those videos were made by us before we started CHAINCHAT. It was kind of like the first stage of this fun project that we're running. So go and check it out if you want to learn about that.
I mean, New Zealand hasn't been short on the NFT game either. Like I said before, I haven't really been interested in purchasing NFTs at the moment, but that hasn't stopped me from following some homegrown NFT projects like the Beavers or Kiwis vs Kangaroos. I also saw on social media that a New Zealand music group was going to release their next album as an NFT. And I know once the NFT market starts cracking into connection with the real world things of value, like for example, I'm pitching house titles, then I reckon that's when NFTs will become super mainstream and we'll start seeing more money in the NFT and crypto world.
I really hope it's not even just house titles. It's like that whole space of buying and selling property is so old school. I mean, I used to be a conveyancing lawyer, and that totally ruined my life because it was just, we were using fax. Like it was really, really old. And I think it's a space that needs a lot of innovation. And I think this stuff, the Web3 stuff, the blockchain technology especially, is such a game changer for all of that.
100%.
Anyways,
Goodbye, Linz.
yeah, see you later. So, according to Forbes, $174 million has been spent on NFTs since November 2017, and it's not slowing down. NFTs contain built-in authentication, which serves as proof of ownership, which I think is one of the big selling points. And for those who understand how the blockchain works, this is kind of where we start finding the value in owning a particular NFT. Mm-hmm. So there's only one owner. And while the owner is anonymous, the record of ownership, including previous owners, is accessible to anyone. So those digital bragging rights associated with an NFT are often what drives the value up.
And I think a lot of the hype has been around digital bragging rights, which has either tipped you one of two ways. The first being you're totally against it or you're suspicious of it, and the other being you're totally enthralled by this idea of digital ownership. I know a lot of the buy-in with Trillionaire Thugs was the pre-hype, the community, the influencers and celebs that were on board, the access to people like Fortify through Discord. That was either a buy-in for you or a complete put-off. And personally, I mean, that didn't interest me. Real-world value, I didn't understand or see a connection between Trillionaire Thugs and something of value in the real world. But that's because, like we said before, Mihi, we're a little bit risk averse, and I guess the digital bragging rights did not buy me in.
No, and I remember when we were getting, I did not mint Trillionaire Thugs.
If you did, it was on behalf of.
Yes. My partner did, and a lot of people that I know did. And around that time, I had a lot of my girlfriends message me and be like, can you please explain why all of these guys, mostly, on my Instagram feed keep sharing stories of these faces, of these cartoon faces, and like they really didn't understand, which was part of the reason. It's like definitely had a part in inspiring this stuff that we're doing now. It wasn't the only thing, but no one really knew what was going on except the ones who were really engaged in the community. And
it was a lot of hard work. To me, it just looked like a lot of hard work for something that could be worth a lot of money, but like that return or that payback wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, and investing is risky. Anyone that invests should know that, and if you don't know that, you shouldn't be investing. I think the way that Nick and I felt about that project in particular is it's probably a good way to compare it would be when you look at generally affiliate marketing for big influencers with big followings on social media. So if you have someone that has 1 million followers and they, or someone like Kylie Jenner, right? The Kardashians, Kylie Jenner, advertisers and brands pay them hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars to make one post with their product, saying that they use their product and that it's worked for them in certain types of ways. If you're someone who likes the influencer that is sharing that product, then you're more likely to want to go and buy that product if you think it'll work for you. I think the same thing applies with all of the marketing hype around lots of NFT projects, not just Trillionaire Thugs. So NFT projects pop up all the time, and when an NFT is minted, you would have heard me say this before, it means that it becomes available to purchase. The amount of interest and subsequently value in an NFT project is dependent on the type of project it is, the creators, the purpose of the project, the community that it serves. So it is all about marketing, just like we've been talking about. Value generally increases for projects where the number of NFTs available are scarce, standard supply and demand, and where collectors need to stay engaged on the Discord platform in order to get first access rights to the mint. So that's what Nick's talking about when she said my household was buzzing. My partner was stuck to Discord for about 3 weeks straight. And it's new to us again. It's not a platform that we are necessarily familiar with, but he has a gaming background, so it made much more, or it makes much more sense to him than it does to my eyes.
And I think when you're a gamer, like you spend a lot of time, and again, only speaking from someone else's experience, viewing someone else playing with a headset and talking, like a lot of it is talking to people you don't see. So talking to avatars, talking to, there's never really a face behind the voice. So going onto a platform like Discord and having these conversations with people that don't necessarily have faces or are represented by avatars, you're just taking what you'd normally do in a game into another platform that you're already quite familiar with and being engaged, which I think we really struggled with because, we often don't do that.
No. Well, there's no, like, besides gaming, what equivalent platform is there where you can talk so freely to so many different people around the world like this? And not only you have the ability to do that, but it's also socially acceptable and expected in the platform that you're using as well. So it's like, I guess you could access whoever you wanted on Instagram or on TikTok, but it's weird if you're trying to approach everyone and trying to have a conversation with everyone. Like, it's just not, it's not what it was designed for. Yeah. It's weird.
It is. And I think, I'm probably showing my age now, but like back when, the internet was first coming around, we had dial-up. Things like chat rooms, they were really popular, and you had some like little username. Most of the time you were faceless, and that was popular. But that died out really quickly when social media started taking off, because all of a sudden, like pictures, videos were the norm, and sliding into someone's DM without knowing them was, weird. Still is weird. But he knows all about that.
It is
We'll talk about that in another episode. But,
stranger danger. Okay. I don't care if I'm 25, it still applies. There are so many new NFT projects that are being minted, and some of the popular, big, hype, kind of international level projects have definitely been CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, The Sandbox, Art Blocks. One of the CryptoPunk NFTs, Punk number 7523, sold for $11.8 million in June of last year. It's serious. Like, this is a serious game, NFTs.
and like I said, 100% think that when you're talking about money like that in a marketplace where you're kind of like, that's new, that adds to the fear, it adds to the apprehension. But I also want to mention some of the other NFT projects that have caught my eye. So I know when we first started OrixGold, we were really looking at creating a space for, people of colour or Indigenous and women, especially women, because in amongst all the hype, it can really feel like a man's world. But there are some wicked NFT projects out there that are, women and that are from, women and women of colour. So like the Woman Rise NFT project, where the artist Mahalia is committed to building schools in the metaverse for the millions of girls who don't have access to education, or the Girlies NFT project, where we have a 15-year-old artist, Valeria, I hope I'm saying that right, who has also committed to donating proceeds towards making the space more accessible through supporting girls that code. And I know that, when we joined this world, the jargon alone, like, it's like learning another language, literally. And if we can help break that down or make it a little bit easier, to access or to understand, then that's what we're here for.
And just following on from that as well, I think it's very easy often for everyone to decide that they're not smart enough or not knowledgeable enough to enter a certain space because it feels unfamiliar and uncomfortable and scary. And what I will say is that you know, Nick and I, we're both lawyers. We both know how to read and write English. We're good with our language. That's what we do day in, day out. This stuff is hard for us. So don't feel like the space isn't for you if you find it hard. Everyone finds it hard to start off with, but that doesn't mean that the space is going to be better off without you in it. So persevere, listen to our podcasts, go and watch our OrixGold videos on YouTube, send us a message, like let us know what you guys want to know as well, because we're making this podcast to help out the rest of you that need a bit of a hand, that don't have someone to have a conversation with about, okay, what's this NFT? How does crypto work? That's why we're here. So let us know what you want to hear so that we can serve you better. But in the meantime, if we look back on this episode that we have just had, NFTs, what the heck are they? Do you now know what they are after listening to us? Or do they still confuse you? Do you see yourself investing in them? Maybe not now or in the future or whenever. Is it something that you're open to, or is it still a big no-no for you? No judgment either way. Like we've said, we haven't invested in any NFTs yet, but that is not a never say never.
So thank you for joining the chat. If you'd like to continue the conversation, then check out our Instagram and YouTube. Links are in the description. And if you haven't already, we have 2 episodes before this one available for you to listen now. So check them out if you're interested. We also have new episodes dropping every Tuesday. So take care and we'll chat to you next week.